Jim Carroll, Ralph Baber, psychology takeaway. You need a dose of the real. Life's absurd. We know the deal. Did you hear? Don't let it get you down. Turn that frown upside down, upside down, 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 upside.
Hi there, this is Jim.
And Ralph.
Okay, we're here with Psychology Takeaway. Now, we've been working really diligently at the Halloween show, and this one is kind of a little different for us because of what you did, Ralph.
Well, blame it on me. My shoulders are broad.
Okay, we get a picture of you here with your broad shoulders. Now, the other day, you sent me an email, and you said, "Hey, Jim, take a look at this. It's unbelievable." So I took a look at it, and it was unbelievable. Do you remember what you sent?
Yes, I sent a story about revenge, in a way.
Yeah, this young lady was talking about how her family has taken advantage of her for years, right?
Yeah, and the thing is that she works from home. She's an IT person, so she has a very busy life. She works 8, sometimes 12 hours a day.
Uh-huh.
But because she's working from home, her family thinks that she doesn't do anything.
Right. Okay. Well, you know, those IT people don't do much of anything anyway, right?
Right.
Okay. So in this particular story, she stands up for herself, and they're going to dump the kids off on the weekend, and she finds a way to escape her town and not get the kids dumped off on her. And that's kind of her declaration of independence.
Yeah.
Okay, so I looked at that and I thought, wow, there's kind of an interesting thing. And then I went away and did some other stuff on the computer. Then I came back about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because usually about that time I'll stick on some, dinner music, or this particular day, Sheila wasn't around, so I stuck on some Jimmy Buffett music. And lo and behold, in the right side of my screen, I had that person's story, the one I looked at earlier, but then I had a whole bunch of other stories that were kind of like that. Daddy stole my money from my trust fund. My parents made me give my $3 million penthouse to my sister. And just a whole bunch of them like that. And I went, whoa, what have I stepped into here? What have you done to me, Ralph?
Yes. And a bunch of things that are often found around stables where there are male cows.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, that's sort of the content of the thing. So we've asked Alex to come and sit in on our show today because, he knows about, he's been demonstrating a lot of this stuff, and he knows about it. And
I was born recently, yeah.
He was born recently. Very good. So can you show us a screen for what this might look like, Alex?
Yeah, here's an example of what I think you were looking at, some AI generated.
You think it was AI generated?
I have a pretty good feeling this was AI generated, yeah.
So what do? You
communicate in English easily.
Stick the story in a text form, or the AI just does the whole thing?
There's a couple different ways to create those, but yeah, you maybe use a chat.
Yeah.
Even a free chat to make the story, and then drop it into another one to make the audio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's really interesting when you begin to look at these.
Probably about a $20 a month subscription, you can generate a lot of these. And
a $20 million a month?
No, I would say probably, if you're using two different AIs, maybe you're $40 a month deep in just subscriptions.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And then you set up a bot farm, probably, to generate the clicks. That probably jumped.
Now, you showed us that a little bit ago, and it was a jaw-dropper for both Ralph and I.
Yeah, you've never seen a bot farm before?
Never saw a bot farm before. We were not born recently.
This is just one example. I'm sure there's other ways to run them with virtual PCs, but I feel like this is a really good visual example because every phone there has its own MAC address and IP address. So, and like you were saying, Ralph, you can get those phones for $10 probably US dollars, depending on where you're at.
So when I look at a YouTube video, there's a record that I've looked at it, right?
Yeah, your algorithm takes note for sure.
Okay. So in this case, with the bot farm, we might have a whole bunch of non-people.
There's a pretty good chance. I looked at some of those comments, and you know, a good thing to look for is the name. Usually will end. It'll seem like a person's name, but it'll end with a bunch of numbers. That's easily mass generated. So they make all these different accounts. Then you can imagine each phone would be signed into a different account, and it would just be watching the content that you pointed to.
Okay.
And they use like a software to manage those. I don't think they go around and physically touch each phone, but they use macros and other computers to do that, to direct essentially this artificial army to go watch their own content probably, or somebody who's paying them.
Yeah. No.
Okay, and the reason for this is that, are they trying to scam YouTube?
I believe so. I mean, probably. I mean, it's a good way to get revenue. I that's what I assume.
Yeah, so it's a good way for somebody to get revenue, but why are people watching them then? I mean, some people are watching.
Yeah, you guys are real people, and you watched it. Why did you watch it?
Well, because I was interested in the concept of revenge, and I put in revenge stories. And the first one came up, and I thought, wow, this is really not so much. I mean, the story was a story of revenge or assertiveness, late blooming assertiveness. When the young woman who was the IT person said, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to let my family go to Hawaii on a nice vacation.
And leave me with the kids to watch, yeah.
Leave him with the kids to watch, and I can't go skiing with my friends. No, I'm not going to take that.
It's a good example of somebody taking back some control, yeah.
Yeah. So late blooming assertiveness, as opposed to the second time her sisters said, we're going to drop the kids off with you. No, you're not. I'm busy this weekend. So the thing is, I looked at that, and what was interesting to me is looking at the comments, a lot of which, as you point out, and I didn't realize at the time, were artificially generated, but some of them were real because they didn't have any numbers after them.
Yeah.
And people were saying, this story made me cry.
Yeah, boy. Okay.
So it is resonating with some real people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting...
And I thought to myself, okay, why? Why did it make you cry? Because my family did similar things to me. And I thought, that says something about people's families.
Yeah.
It echoes, it's an echo chamber for other listeners.
It's relatable. Yeah.
Relatable sort of thing. And, you look at it and you say, okay, and because I clicked on it, I'm assuming that 28 cents went to whoever.
Yeah, maybe that much, maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe 1 cent.
It depends,
but if you get 1 million people,
yeah,
that's $100,000.
Okay.
It's interesting that it's like artificial, yet it is
relatable.
It's resonating with people.
Well, having gotten this and scratching my head, I wanted to, learn a little bit more. So where did I go? I went to ChatGPT and said, "Hey, is YouTube becoming more toxic? And how about other platforms? Other platforms." And the response was kind of interesting. He said, "Well, it looks like it might be more of a toxic environment out there." He said, "Don't blame the AIs or the."
Don't blame me, it said. You asked an AI and it said, "Don't blame me."
Yeah. It's reflecting, what people click on, or
that's fair.
What other people, and we think that some people out there are clicking on stuff. I mean, it's not all a bot farm in China. We think. I don't know. It's brand new to me. Brand new concept.
I would still think it might be 80% bot farm, but now just looking at some of these comments, I mean, it's hard to tell.
What comments? Yeah, what are you seeing there? Anyhow, when I was looking at or listening to these stories, I was emotionally drawn. It was like this poor person has been taken advantage of, and it looks like several times by the family members, and she ends up, and it's usually women. Did you notice that, Ralph?
Yeah.
And usually there's a picture of one woman toward the side. The one I looked at was Jenna. And then in the background, there's some stuff that, probably came from Flixer. Didn't have anything to do with the story, just sort of background, visuals. But, if I were addicted to or even mildly interested in the daytime soaps, I might go here because this stuff was more interesting than I don't know, what's the Young, the Bad, and the Restless? The Young, Bad, and the Ugly?
Yeah.
Well, the thing, I guess, is that there are reasons, social reasons, technological reasons, and maybe psychological motivations. Some of the social and technological designs have to do with like online disinhibitions for people. They can make all their comments, what we might call troll comments today. They're just basically saying bad things.
Because you can't say bad things to your boss, to his face or her face. So you say bad things about your boss, maybe, online, right?
With the anonymity of a fake account.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see people doing that.
And the other thing is, we talked about algorithms. I mean, you get amplification, even if what you have generated is not AI. If you look, for example, I looked the other day at a guy who was renovating, restoring an old Enfield motorcycle. And so, as Jim said, down the side, I got 27 different guys renovating different motorcycles because the algorithm said, oh, you're interested in this. There's a whole bunch of stuff here.
It's going to give you more of what you like,
Yeah.
It's interesting you used the term Enfield. You could have fooled the AI, I suppose, to think that you were renovating Lee Enfield rifles, the 303 rifle from the First World War, and you'd end up with a whole bunch of stuff down the side about rifles and using rifles, and who knows what you might stumble into there, right?
Yeah, except YouTube has said basically they won't carry anything that is how to
make an atomic bomb.
We're drawing the line at atomic bombs.
Yeah, how to renovate rifles or how to use them.
Okay.
Oh, really? Because there's a lot of gun channels out there.
Yeah,
they're
but
stopping pushing that.
they won't show you how to actually do it.
Well, okay.
They can show you, okay, you can replace the bolt in a Lee Enfield. Here's how you do it. No, you can replace the bolt in a Lee Enfield.
Figure it out.
Okay.
So
you can't.
That content's out there. They're just not going to promote it. They're not going to share it in your sidebar.
Yeah. So, hey, they're protecting people, but if you think of this talk that we're hearing, the first time I heard this, Ralph, I was driving across the bridge from Philadelphia to New Jersey, and I heard Howard Stern's on the radio. The car I was in, the rental car, had the radio tuned to this station, and so I didn't detune it. I was just driving across. It was a terrible day anyway, rainy and just sleet and going to turn to snow. And I'm on my way to Dover, Delaware to teach. And so I'm just, going down the expressway. And Howard Stearns comes on. Now, he's the original shock jock, I think. And what he was saying, first of all, the language he was using and the things he was talking about were kind of amazing, to me. I started out like you did, Ralph, in AM radio, and we were told there were some things, some words that you could not say. Well, he was saying them all, and I almost drove off the bridge.
Yeah.
You were shocked.
I was shocked. And nowadays, it seems like there are no guardrails. You can do or say almost anything you want.
The 7 words you can't say on television are no longer operational.
Okay.
Well, they still have those on television, don't they? But yeah, the internet's a whole wild west, whole new frontier. Well, I wonder what George Carlin would say about it now.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. Is George still around?
Oh no, he passed away in 2010 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It's been a little while.
Yeah. Well, tip of the hat to George, because he certainly, as the hippy-dippy weatherman, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
But, we've sort of put some light onto the problem here, Ralph. But what about an answer? I think what we have to do is
I think there
a show.
are answers, but they're more or less going to be individual.
Okay.
Because the social and technological design is such that, like De Niro said, I think in a movie where he talked about being part of a crime family, and he said, I thought I was out, but they sucked me back in. And that social and technological design will suck you back in unless you do what we tell you to do next time.
Okay. So until next time, this is Jim, and I'm speaking for Ralph. We're going to continue this conversation about toxic
Commentary
talk. Yes.
and talk.
Yep.
And in the meantime, we want you to keep your stick on the ice.
Because we're all in this. Alex, come on in and help us.
Together.